So many questions. I know.
Throw
Well, when
them.
you started opening yourself up a few years ago, what were some of the first, I guess I'm selfishly asking this because I'm like, oh, what are my first steps? I'll just copy
Right.
you. Like, what were some of the things that you did to kind of open yourself back up again? And or maybe I'll caveat this question by saying, like, knowing all that you know now, maybe how would you if you could go back and do it again and keep
That's a
yourself
good
like
question.
somewhat protected? What would your
Yeah,
steps
because I'm
be?
trying to think about like what I did, and I was like, I don't know if I would get
Yeah,
to that
right?
point.
You're like,
Because
don't
it
give
was
anyone
very
any
messy in
ideas.
the beginning, and I think most people's journeys in the beginning are. I started off on like the very new age path, which 10 out of 10 do not recommend. Like, don't do it. Um, put the white sage down. Okay.
Mm.
But I do think that what I would recommend to someone who's wanting to open up their abilities and really kind of reconnect with the spiritual abilities and the spiritual connection that they had as a kid, even if you did, the way to reconnect to that, or if you haven't, a way to connect with that is to get to know yourself better. My motto in my business is know thyself, know thy power, because I really do believe that the more you know yourself, the more you understand what you're capable of, how to navigate things, regardless of whether it's in life or in your spiritual practice. Because when you're trying to navigate spirituality as a separate thing from you, that's when we run into issues, because spirituality, your spiritual path, is inherently part of you, and
Yeah.
it is
Right.
something that it's an extension of your energy and an extension of your spirit, and that's why it's called a spiritual practice.
Yeah.
So when we try to separate it as something that we just do, not something that we live, that's when it becomes a mess, because we're trying to maintain something outside of ourselves that we don't feel benefits us outside of just, being a thing in our lives.